auditioning is a whole art in itself, I have to say. I think I cringe when it's something that just seems really far from me, but I'm encouraged to just go. They want to meet you, or this, that, or they really, you never know. And oh my God, sometimes those are just, and they're usually when you're the busiest and you got to try to pull it together. And that kind of makes me cringe because, it pushes me in a place that is uncomfortable. Not that I can't, have stretch my range and everything, but if you just feel like it's also going to drain your energy and take away from something else that you're working on. And I get excited if it's the scripts really move me, and the writing is beautiful. I get excited.
If you're reading something for The Blind Side, are you reading the entire script or are you reading your scenes? What was the first thing you got for Blind Side?
In that case, I read the script.
And now, if you have to go in and you're just given scenes, like it's a TV thing, or you've been on a lot of episodes of Lost, so when you first went in to meet on that, do you know much about what everything else is?
I didn't read on Lost.
Yeah.
I just got the part, but that does happen a lot, and they won't give out scripts because they don't want to leak it or anything, and so you're just going in, and so basically, I've come to the understanding it's like if you're not the essence they want, you're not going to get it. If you are, you have a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you do whatever, you fill it in, you layer it the way you think you can. You make bold choices, or depending on how the show is, maybe you make more natural choices.
Now, sometimes you're not actually going in to audition, you're just going in for a meeting, or you're going to meet with somebody, a director, for a project. John, if someone's not an audition but it's a meeting, what are you looking for when they're coming in to meet with you? Are you doing the meeting that's not an audition?
We met at O'Brien's, didn't we? So we had fish and chips and beer or something. But for me, it's just, I don't know. I think a mistake that I'm kind of prone to make, because I like to kind of, maybe it's insecurity or whatever, the selling aspect of it, as opposed to listening. And if somebody like Jason Patric is willing to sit down and meet me to talk about something, he has ideas, and so it's about kind of slow playing it a little bit and raising subjects, listening to what he has to say, and then define those areas where you agree about things and use that as a jump-off point to let the relationship and therefore the character in the movie grow.
I mean, I don't like to meet in a general way. I always like to meet with something because I want to have an instinct about it. And in this case, there wasn't really a script to talk about, and I had worked with some people that John had on this movie, and so they had vouched for him. So we sat down, and I wanted to hear what he had to say, and just hear his story as a person. Because, for me, that's sort of become, look, let's face facts, I don't work that much. So, when I do, I want it to be a life experience, is something that I'm going to take out of it. And a lot of that has to do with the people that you're going to work with. And so I just wanted to hear what he had to say.
Did you want to hear about this specific movie, or did you want a better sense of who he was and who you were going to be working with?
Well, I'd get a better sense of who he was through his passion for the project that he was talking about. As far as auditioning, if I had to audition for most of my movies, I wouldn't have got them. I'm really not good at that. I'm just not. So luckily, for whatever reasons, a while ago, I was able to get a little bit of a run, and I can meet someone who wants me to do something, and then talk about it. But with John, and it was similar with Joe Carnahan with Narc. I had seen his first movie, and I didn't really think anything about it. And actually, the script itself, I had played a junkie cop in Rush years before. I didn't want to repeat myself, but meeting him and seeing what he wanted to do and his passion as a person, made me say, okay, I can go in a bunker for 8 weeks with the guy, and that's what I felt with John with that. And it ended up being one of my best experiences ever down there in Austin, Texas. It really did, as a human. And that's really all you can take, because I don't know. You could set out to have a career. I always wanted to have a library, and that's what the people that you work with and what you take from that.